DoorDash rewards program, how to deal with oversaturation in your market area, some newer updates to the DoorDash app, and more. You're not going to want to watch, guys. Welcome back. Without further ado, guys, let's jump right in. As you know, I've been running a series every Tuesday called DoorDash Dirty Tactics. Well, it's time again for DoorDash Dirty Tactics Part 4. Recently, DoorDash has updated some things on the app, and they now tell you about the wait time. They now tell you that there's a little notification down in the left-hand corner advising you that it could be 3 to 6 minutes before you get an order, before you get a pickup. Those times can vary depending on where you're at, the hotspot you're located at, and everything like that. It's at least a heads up. Probably a step in the right direction. I don't know how accurate it is, but there will be some wait if it's giving you that. So from what I can see, and doing DoorDash in the last few days, that's how it's been. Also, guys, if you're in an oversaturated market area, that means that when there are too many people driving DoorDash, pay goes down. And if there's not many dashers in your area, you are a lucky person, because pay will go up. And you may even be possibly offered peak pay. Peak pay is rarely ever offered in an oversaturated market area because DoorDash doesn't want to pay out any more than they need to. They still continue on treating people that dash for them, that do DoorDash, like employees. And we are not employees, guys. Let's get it straight. I run into a guy the other day, and I was in waiting on a pickup right over here at TGIF's. And he said, where'd the girl go? I said, she went to get my order. He said, what are you doing? I says, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. He said, oh, I work for DoorDash. I said, no, you don't. I says, you contract work off of DoorDash. You are an independent contractor. You do not get a W-2. So you are an independent contractor, and you need to act like it. And he said, I don't know what's going on lately. He said, all the trips are bad. A bulk of the trips are bad. And I'm not getting as many orders. I had to let him know. I says, do you know anything about oversaturation? Or saturation? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I says, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. You're working right out of Monroeville here, and there are DoorDash galore people doing this. And I said, the more dashers there are, pay goes down. The less dashers there are, pay goes up. He says, they haven't offered peak pay in a long time. I said, they're not going to offer peak pay in an overly saturated market area. When the algorithm picks up that there aren't many dashers scheduled or many dashers on, peak pay may show up. Ping! And I've seen it many times, but not often and not every day. So I gave him a lesson. He said, oh, you must have been doing this a long time. I said, close to 5 years. I says, hey, if you want, here's my YouTube channel. You can go over and check this out. I talk a lot about all the gig apps and the gig economy, and you might learn a lot. So he took it and said he'd check it out. He subscribed right in front of me, so I appreciate that. But there was a lot he didn't know. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that don't know, and that is why I do these videos called DoorDash Dirty Tactics. DoorDash continues on with all their tactics all the time, and the low-paying, high-mileage trips still continue, guys, and there's just no way around that. And the more drivers there are, the more you will see that. So, with that being said, that's what does it in. In a perfect world, guys, if we all, as a whole, stop taking those low-paying, high-mileage trips for a day at a time and into a week, you would quickly see DoorDash change their tactics, and you would see better trips. They would know that no one is falling or standing for the fact of them sending in garbage, low-paying, high-mileage trips. That's in a perfect world, guys. That doesn't... We are far from in a perfect world. And with everything in the gig economy, or in the economy as a whole, all the inflation, the high prices, paying more for everything, paying all our bills, paying more for everything. Gasoline is still up. Gasoline is still $3.70 some, $3.80 in some areas of me. Shouldn't be, guys. That's not DoorDash's fault. That's not any gig app's fault. That's the United States' fault, the government's fault. That's another topic in itself. But for us, trying to make ends meet, doing what we do, we've just got to stay the course. And I'm not saying to stop doing DoorDash, but what I'm saying is if you're not multi-apping at least 3 or more apps a day, then there's something wrong. I said it before, guys, I could never do it all alone on DoorDash, making my profits. So I'm depending on my other apps and putting it all together in a day's time to get it done. It's tough times, guys, and you know, you got to do whatever you do. I have umpteen apps on my phone, on my device, so anytime I could be throwing on Walmart Spark on top of that. Instacart, Roadie, Shipt, just to name some. Anyhow, guys, DoorDash just keeps on doing what they do. And you got to remember, they don't care about you. They're going to try to milk you for everything that you do. And that, oh yeah, they want you to take those low pay and high mileage trips. They want you to keep rolling with your acceptance rate. No one out here dashing is going to become an all-star on DoorDash. Top Dasher is gone. Those days are gone. Since the rewards program hit, guys, those days are gone. And guess what? They bumped it up another 10% what you need to be in each tier. It was 50 for silver. Now it's 60. So if you're heading for 45 on your acceptance rate and you thought you were getting in the rewards program for the silver tier, guess what, guys? You got to get to 60 before you do that. I run into a guy the other day that told me that he was on the platinum. He said they're sending him a lot of $4 orders in. So I don't know, guys. It's a big racket. It's a big scam. But DoorDash is a big monopoly. And they've got tactics galore up their sleeves. They're just hoping you don't know enough about it to keep doing it. And if DoorDash is the only app you do, you would never know, guys. You would have to be multi-apping like myself and be able to compare DoorDash to the other apps that you do. And no other app is asking you to schedule, or telling you about your acceptance rate, or telling you if you're falling behind, or reminding you that you've got a low completion rate, or reminding you of this, or reminding you of that, or knocking you off the app because you didn't respond for a little bit. It's just nuts, guys. It just goes on and on and on. So we're going to be running DoorDash today, and we're going to see. I saw a piece the other day that said that they were going to continually keep updating certain aspects of the app. I'm still on the beta platform myself, so that never changes, but I do get updates to it. And here's the other thing. They toggled on automatically cash on delivery. And that is a joke, because almost everyone I get on that, $2, $3, 11 miles, 12 miles. It's insane. So, the thing is, guys, is that I believe what you need to do is, if you're in an oversaturated market area like myself, I strongly believe that you really need to multi-app. You need to get a system and not solely rely on DoorDash alone. Because, as I said, pay goes down when you are in an oversaturated market area. And if there's no peak pay, which there won't be, I've got a lot of comments from my viewers saying that they're in an area and they're doing quite well on DoorDash. Well, that's fantastic. I wish you the best with that. But I also reminded those people, wait till the rewards program comes into your area. Things change drastically. I've also got people who said that they were doing well, but now all of a sudden it has turned ugly real quick. And there's factors for that. And by the beginning of summer, DoorDash rewards program will be in every market area across the United States. If it hasn't come to you, it will only be time before it gets to you. They're trying to complete this. 200 more market areas last Wednesday, and 200 the weekend before. So with that being said, that gives you a general idea how many market areas they move into at a time. I wish all you guys the best whatever you do, and I hope you make wise decisions in the trips that you accept and how you go about it. But there are a lot of Dashers in my area leaving, but a bunch of new ones coming in because they have now offered them promotions. But shortly those promotions will end, and then they will get going, and they will get tired of it and leave, and it will just keep getting oversaturated. So it's almost like the laws of science and everything that evolves around it is how DoorDash tries to operate, but constantly reminding us that this is wrong. You need to get this acceptance rate up, or your completion rate is falling behind. Giving you warnings, sending you emails. No other gig company does that, guys. Just keep your eyes peeled. Take note of everything around you, especially if you just do DoorDash. See if things change for you. If you were doing really good in a given week and then the next few weeks just go down the tubes, you can maybe consider the fact that your market area is very overly saturated. So I take whatever I can out of the oversaturated area on the app. I run with whatever's great, and I combine it with all my other apps, and I roll with it all day. So I make my profit. That's how I do it, guys. I get a good trip. I take other trips that are similar to that or better, and I roll with it. So whatever you decide to do, guys, I urge for you to multi-app. Try learning another app, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Walmart Spark, whatever it might be. I have to let you know, if it was Walmart Spark, there's a sign-on period, and then you need to wait for them to get a hold of you. It can take quite some time. It was 6 months before I ever gone on. After I signed up, I was approved, but it was 6 months before they ever got a hold of me. So that's how they do things. And then there's an onboarding process. But whatever you decide to do, it's going to be interesting to see how this reward program goes on once it's in every market area. And I think it's going to be the ruinization of DoorDash, and I think one day it will crash. Whatever you decide to do, guys, leave me comments, and I wish you the best with whatever you do. But other than that, guys, DoorDash is DoorDash, and it's forever changing. And it's the only app that makes an independent contractor feel like an employee. Good luck to everybody out there. And if you need any help, any suggestions, any tips, any tricks, let me know. And I'll try to give you some strategies. Also, guys, if you vibe with my content, please do consider subscribing. Hit the like and alert bell, as it is helping the channel grow. And for those of you who've done that, I appreciate it. I'm working real hard to become monetized and become a YouTube partner, and I'm not far off from doing that. I appreciate all you guys. Until next time, when I see you on DoorDash Dirty Tactics Part 5, it's Dave, Renegade Gig Hustler. Take care.